Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdsson of World Alternative Media here, and welcome to the YouTube is Over party. So today, something interesting happened. It's happened before, it happened a few years ago, but today it seems pretty serious, and I'll pull it up on the screen for all of you. It is what they call the YouTube is Over party, hashtag YouTube is Over party, which is trending currently on Twitter and has been all day. For those that are unaware, I am live streaming this, by the way, to both YouTube and float.app. That's flote.app. But it's interesting because this has really started to take a turn for the worse for YouTube, because obviously they came out with their new terms of service on December 10th. And they changed a lot, and they're already threatening to take down account. They wanted to take down all videos on YouTube where Donald Trump called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. That is how incredibly fragile this situation currently is. I mean, that obviously isn't a major issue, but they're willing to try and take that down. What else are they willing to take down? Anyway, I appreciate everyone joining us. Make sure to press like if you haven't already. So what we're going to do is basically talk about the downfall of YouTube amongst some other things. Because look, earlier today, I was getting ready for a live show here on YouTube. And I'll give you a look at what I was going to report on. So I wanted to report on the Vatican caught using charity donations to cover budget shortfalls and bring in, the Queen using the state poverty fund to heat Buckingham Palace. I was going to talk about the Harvey Weinstein verdict, which happened today, and I was going to talk about Virginia Giuffre regarding her saying that she feared for her life and that she was worried that she would be killed by evil people or whatever it might be. And then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that because it's late 2019, past December 10th, and YouTube will take our channel down if I do that. And then I thought about it. I'm like, that's self-censorship. They're pushing me into a situation where I'm so worried that they're going to wipe out my livelihood and my ability to reach people with other important messages that I'm worried about talking about these important messages. And that's sick. That's wrong. And I don't want to be in a situation where I feel that way. And that is a huge threat to free information online. So it is worthy to see, or it makes me happy anyway, to see that YouTube is Over party is trending on Twitter. But let's actually see what some of these people are talking about. By the way, thanks to everyone that's tuning in. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Emmanuel, Audrey, Sally, AB, Johnny, Dingo. Thank you, everyone that's tuning in. Again, we got 37 people watching out of 136,000 people, so make sure to press like, help with the algorithm. This is the end, guys. But anyway, let's get Twitter up on the screen here. So I've been tweeting about this a bit today. It's interesting to see this hashtag trending so much. Currently, I believe that's impeachment. Where are we here? Oh, it's literally as we were talking after an entire day of it being here. It just disappeared from the side panel. So it doesn't say how many tweets there are. That's nice. Anyway, a lot of people talking about it. This person just says, YouTube is over party. Harvey Weinstein is a terrorist. Yeah, and you can't talk about that on YouTube anymore because you can get your account taken down. I thought the Me Too movement was like a left-wing thing. Anyway, this mega Trump person says, when you spend $10,000 on professional video camera and personal computer for video editing to become a YouTuber, but then you see YouTube is Over party is trending. Yeah, well, join the club, buddy. Over time, I spent more than $10,000 on my video equipment back in the better days of YouTube. Thank God for STEEMIT at the time. For those that are interested, though, we are on float.app. That's flote.app. So I highly recommend everyone go and follow us on Float. There's a few glitches right now on Float due to the fact that they're installing an update which is allowing people to monetize their videos on Float, which does have an algorithm. And they're trying to replace Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, and Reddit and Patreon all on one website. And they're doing an amazing job. But yeah, right now they're a little bit slow because they are installing this update, but it should be fixed rather shortly. It's bad timing. We're on BitChute as well for anyone that might be interested. It takes a while. So I have this one issue with BitChute where I post videos and it's just blank. And it doesn't, sometimes it'll just never show up and it'll just disappear from my account. There's serious glitches on BitChute that are really frustrating to deal with. We need pledges on Patreon, and we need pledges on Subscribestar. We still need to raise another $1,210 in monthly pledges by January 1st. Every time someone pledges, someone deletes their pledge. So we've been kind of stuck on the line for the last week and a half here. But anyway, we do have other good news. Not that what we were just talking about was good news. The YouTube is over party trending is good news, I guess. But we do have other good news, actual good news that I'm pretty excited to bring to you all. And I'll put it up on the screen for everyone to see here. Just hold on. All right, I'm going to go to it here. We have the Teespring store. We are now up. You can check the links below. We are selling merchandise on Teespring at the World Alternative Media Store. You got things like the revolution will not be YouTubed, interesting and worthy of bringing up in this video. Trudeau for prison, creepy old guy 2020, which is a interesting one. This wasn't a crazy good design. I just thought it was funny. Then we got F the Fed. You got End the Fed. You got Statism is Cancer. You got this. If you're interested in ancient civilizations, we got. And this is a picture I took at Göbekli Tepe, so there's no copyright on it. It looks blurry on the image, but it's good in real life. So this is our premium one. This is Göbekli Tepe shirt, front and back. You'll see Göbekli Tepe, and there's stars and roots coming out of it. I designed it. Thought it was kind of worthy of selling. There's also cheaper versions of it. Anyway, we got lots on the Teespring store, so make sure to check that out. People have been telling me forever that if I actually put up t-shirts and stuff, they'll buy it. So that is one way to fund Wham, and that'll help us enormously stay afloat in these tough times. This one just says, taxation is theft, Epstein didn't kill himself, Julian Assange is a hero, government is organized crime, fiat currency is trash, all wars are banker wars, the media lies, they want to divide us, rule yourself, all on one shirt. So you can literally tell everyone every single thing they need to know about you before they even meet you. So yeah, we got lots of stuff, and there's different versions of every shirt. Atlantis was real. We got Wham socks, Wham mugs, different Wham shirts here. Government is organized crime pillow. I don't know why it keeps jumping around like that. F war, make Bitcoin. We got the Sphinx is 12,000 years old. We got Andrew Yang feeding someone whipped cream on their knees. And it says math. We got Nobody for President 2020. A Not a Slave phone case with a voluntarist symbol on it. I thought that was pretty good. This shirt says Nah, Rosa Parks 1955. Rule Yourself shirt with the NPCs with the Republicans and Democrats. The Internet is my school. So a lot of you, I'm sure, would agree. Another Wham phone case there. End the Fed, different shirts. We even have leggings for End the Fed. We have kids and babies shirts and stuff for End the Fed. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of different stuff like that. So I hope people check that out and enjoy our new store, because it's been a long time waiting. It's been, I think, almost 7 years since the last time we had a store at Wham. So anyway, I'm going to take some questions for those that are tuned in. Johnny Dingo says, do you have a Find the Truth, Be the Change shirt? No, but I'll make one. Happy to make one. Harris05 says, 50 viewers, 140K subs. WTF? Yeah. Well, we're shadow banned, and that's the thing, because we got YouTube is over party. It's a trend on Twitter right now. It's huge. And even despite that, even though it's one of the top trends on Twitter right now, we're not able to reach anyone. And regardless, on December 10th, the terms of service changed on YouTube. Essentially, what that meant was they made it so that they incorporated COPPA legislation that had already existed since like the 90s, but YouTube never really cracked down on it. Now it's just an excuse to censor people more. And this COPPA legislation, what's crazy about it is that YouTube was fined, I think, $170 million, and they settled it. And then they changed their terms of services at the same time as Twitter, by the way, who openly says that they're shadow banning people now. We did a video on it recently about how all these big tech companies are colluding against you. But anyway, you have to check off when you post a video, can this video be viewed by children, or is it not for children? If you say it can be viewed by children, you'll be demonetized and completely shut down, and you'll be pushed out of the suggested content where the vast majority of views come from on YouTube. If you say it isn't for children, then they can arbitrarily just say, well, technically this video can be watched by children, so for that reason we're going to fine you $42,000. So basically they're saying you can't post edgy content on YouTube because you'll be demonetized and deleted. But if you post family-friendly content, you'll also be demonetized and deleted and fined $42,000. It's just so ridiculous that we live in a time where people actually sit by and deal with this kind of stuff. This guy says, I don't matter, says, some YouTubers I watch have 2K subs and have 200 to 300 show up. Yeah, tell me about it. I see it all the time. I see 25,000 people watching a live stream of a person with 50,000 subscribers all the time. Now, some might be bots, but I'm seeing ridiculous amounts of comments flowing up so you can't even read them. And this is a channel with 136,000 subscribers, and you see 54 people watching because we are completely shadow banned. It's disgusting. I'm so sick of it. And that's why we're on float.app. That's why we're on BitChute. That's why we're trying to get people wrestled up and ready to go and willing to really crack the whip on the future of free information online when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like I said, for those that are just tuning in, I was going to do a news show this morning or tonight, and what I was going to report on, I'll bring it up on the screen again, is I wanted to report on the Vatican caught using charity donations to cover budget shortfalls, and I was going to report on Harvey Weinstein. And I was going to also report on Virginia Giuffre regarding Prince Andrew and Epstein and Clinton and all that kind of stuff. And then I realized if I do that, my account will literally just be deleted. Like, I can't report on that. And it makes me sick. Like, it makes me totally sick that they are forcing people into self-censorship like this. This is so wrong on every level. These are talking about how horrible pedophiles are and rapists are. And the Vatican, using donations to build or like to cover budget shortfalls. Sell some of your gold thrones, you satanic morons. And this is the thing. It's gotten to the point where I'm seriously afraid of reporting on this stuff, or else I can't reach people with other messages, because from what I see, 0.01% of my viewers, the people that are watching, are willing to get an account on float.app and follow these independent medias to other social media networks, which is why I'm worried about talking about these things, because if I get deleted, then no one's ever going to go there. Then I can't reach people with any messages, and then it's so frustrating. It's so disheartening in every way. It's really hard to make it any more clear. We need you guys to go to things like float.app, flote.app. It's free. Just go on, get an account. It'll take 2 seconds to do it, guys. I mean, it won't take you any time to do it. It's completely easy. And again, supporting us by buying teas or buy different t-shirts and phone cases, socks and stuff like that, or pledging to Subscribestar or Patreon. Those are all very important things that will help keep us alive past January 1st, because literally we're on borrowed time right now, guys. At any moment they'll take us down, and there's nothing we can do about that. So Johnny Dingo says, Josh, maybe make this the Wham Archaeology channel and code in no, I can't. There's nothing I could do. This channel's targeted and shadow banned no matter what I post nowadays. I did the math, and my documentary going to the reshot structure in Mauritania at average viewership rate would have gotten about 1.2 million views, but instead it has 77,000 views. I mean, even going through minefields and hitchhiking across Africa and staying in hostels with bugs all over my face and nearly dying a bunch of times to go to a site that millions and millions of people get millions of views on if they just talk about it for 10 seconds in a YouTube video. But I go there, and I'm one of the first people to ever go there and report on it. I get 77,000 views, and this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. We're completely shadow banned. So that's why it's important that we get people to go to these other things. I could just do archaeology videos on this channel, true, but I would still be shadow banned, and I still wouldn't reach anyone, and I would still probably be shut down. Because they'll decide, well, technically a kid could watch this archaeological video, and then they'll just shut the channel down. They don't need any excuses at this point. We're past December 10th. This video alone, is very, very, very liable to actually cause this channel to go down. So that is the current situation we're in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's where we're at right now. It's very sad. Johnny says, that was a great video. Thank you. Yeah, not a lot of people saw it. Jerry K said, guys, smash the like button, sub, share. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, please press like if you haven't already. We got 82 people watching of 136,000 people, so that's a little bit better than before. I wanted to go into these news stories. If I do go into those news stories, though, I have a gun to my head, and they'll blow my brains out. Basically, they'll basically say if you do this, you aren't allowed to. You're not allowed to post any more videos on YouTube, which means I can't reach people with other important messages. So do I sacrifice all messages for one message, or sacrifice one message for all messages, all the other messages? That's a quandary I've been in, and that's self-censorship, and it's not right. I do subscriber-only content on things like Float.app and Subscribestar and stuff like that. So if you wanna, join us there, that would be great. Yeah, well, a lot of people say, well, you should be doing this anyway. You shouldn't allow that to stop you, but it is allowing me to. I still talk about most of the things I want to talk about, but now that December 10th has passed, it's really risky. They're really just taking down channels for nothing right now, at all. Period. And like I said earlier, they wanted to take down, YouTube was trying to take down every single video where Trump called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Never mind Elizabeth Warren like writing a Native American cookbook and pretending to be another race. It's racist to call her Pocahontas, apparently. And for that reason, YouTube was trying to take it down for bullying. They're public figures. That's where we're at. Susan Wojcicki just said the other day that they have effectively cut down viewership on controversial videos by 70%. I've been saying since January, since February, because it happened between January and February, that we got cut down in viewership by 80%. And we did. And now they admitted, they came out, people said I was crazy. Now they came out and said we cut down viewers by 70%. So I'm just above the average. So, anyway, if anyone is interested, we have a Bitcoin address that you could tip to as well. We really appreciate anything that people can do to help us out right now. We are at the end of our ropes, guys, and it's really, really terrible. I Don't Matter says apparently you're even responsible for viewers' comments too now. Yeah, essentially. They can shut down our comments and then shut down our suggestions and monetization if certain people comment the wrong thing. This is our Digibyte address, by the way, if anyone's interested. We also take tips in Digibyte, and we have everything linked below in the description, including our Teespring store where you can buy our merchandise. Anyway, so Truth, Money, and Freedom says you should be getting more views now too. Yeah, well, I mean, I went from getting 12,000 new subscribers a month to getting about 10 to 20 subscribers a month, and then getting negative 100 subscribers a month, and now I've been stuck at 136,000 subscribers for like 2 months now. Like, I went from 100,000 to 120,000 in less than 2 months. That was a year ago in December. Wham was exploding in 2018 and was the fastest growing independent media in the world. And then we hit January and we're still doing somewhat decent after Christmas. And then boom, we interviewed David Icke. and that got our channel destroyed. Like the video, by the way, got it had what was it, 4,000 views in the first 10 minutes of it being posted, and to this day it's still only at, I think, 6,000 views or something like that. That tells you a little bit about how much that was stifled, and we were just completely shut down. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen shadow banning for years on YouTube and demonetization, stuff like that, but it's never been worse. We are working on ways to fix this problem, and we're doing everything we can to fix these problems. But during the transition, we need your help, guys. Now, Volten says, make sure to advertise an alternative platform that is free speech for video uploading on the hashtag. Yeah, well, like I said, float.app, flote.app. I'll write it again. I saw Dana James posted it. Float.app. This website, you can post videos. You can monetize videos right away. They're trying to unroll that right now. That's why there's a few glitches on the site at the moment, because they're unrolling monetization on float.app. I'll bring it up on the screen. So it's a little bit topsy-turvy at the moment currently because of the updates that are being brought online right now. But it's this is where you should be going, float.app. I'm at Josh Siertson as well as at Wham. I'll be posting the videos to at Wham. I'll be posting my vlogs to at Josh Siertson. Definitely go and join us over there. It'll mean a great deal to us. I'm going to reload the page here and see if anyone has joined us since I last checked. See, there is this issue right now where it's glitching out and logging out by itself, and that's because they're bringing in this new infrastructure. So it's in beta, so it's bound to glitch out like this. But I see we do have a new follower on Float since the last time I told people to go join us. I am live on Float at the moment. I don't want to use up too much of my internet right now, but let's see what it looks like if anyone's commenting. Just loading the super chats. So again, you could do super chats on Float as well, so that that's good. King sent $1 in super chats and said, YouTube, rest in peace. Luke Monkman says, what up? My internet sucks. Streaming on YouTube doesn't work for me. Float, no problems. Yeah, the issues are very minor today, and I've just been getting around them, and they're just first glance, if it happens to you, just, take a breath because it'll work. Brian Forrester just joined Float, actually. He's at Brian. No search results. What's going on? Let me just go to my account here. This is unusual to see these glitches. It's just an issue of the updates that they're installing right now, so worry not. So we got Brian Forster's account here at BRIEN. Of course, the Indiana Jones of archaeology these days. I'll let that load. Again, there's some issues right now. Hopefully that gets fixed immediately. And anyway, I'll go back to the questions on YouTube for now. Jerry says, guys, smash the like button, sub, share. Absolutely. Not Shake says, hi, hello to you as well. Glad to see you. I see Lee Stewie says, weather alternative media is live right on. Yeah, you're hilarious. Truth, Money, and Freedom says, indeed. Lee Stewie, I just came here from there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just, you guys are confusing me now. And please bear with me. I'm like completely deaf right now. I plugged my ear and threw out my ear, and this one's already deaf, so I'm like, I can't even hear myself talk. Carl James Barrow says, Toronto, Canada. Glad to be joined by more fellow Canadians here at Wham. I'm going to Canada in less than 10 days. I'm not looking forward to it because I don't like Canada in the winter, but nonetheless, I'll be there for Christmas, freezing my butt off. I'll be down here to get more work done as very shortly after that too. I'm booking a bunch of interviews right now, by the way, in the next 10 days, which I'm really looking forward to. And I really want to do something to finish off the decade. I mean, it's all arbitrary time numbers, doesn't mean anything. But it'd be interesting to do a street or like an on the street in Las Vegas before I go, if the weather's good enough. Carpe Diem says, why is freedom of speech being taken away even if you are not doing anything negative? Well, it depends on who subjectively thinks it's negative. Um, I don't think it's negative. You don't think it's negative. We're giving solutions to free humanity from the chains, unfortunately, so many revere, and to uncover, facts about history that we're not being told, and to dig into the monetary system and all that kind of stuff, and just tell people to be independent. But to certain powers that be, the establishment, technically speaking, I would say some people call it the deep state. Some would just call it the tech overlords, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. There are people that don't like my message because it's negative to them. It implies negative connotations to the slave masters. Well, by definition, they're slave masters, so that's pretty negative. Lee Stewie says freeing humanity is negative to the powers that shouldn't be. Absolutely. Jeff Toxicity says, Josh, was there an event in your life that caused you to see the world for what it really is? Public school. All my teachers were mentally, I can't say the word. It's considered off limits on YouTube especially. But stupid. Very, very stupid. My teachers were really dumb. And the government was employing these propaganda, textbook reading school marms to make me do things I didn't want to. And would teach me garbage and teach me fallacious so-called facts, revisionism, essentially. And I realized that I was being lied to, and I was being indoctrinated instead of educated. And I liked being educated. I loved learning, but I hated everything they tried to learn. And try going to a Canadian school, by the way. They in public Canadian school, they were like where California is today, back in like the 90s. And they would try to just teach me for like 3 hours straight about the pioneers that walked across Canada. And it's like, nobody cares. Oh, some ox carts and stuff. Learn about ox carts for like 3 hours straight. And they wondered why I wasn't paying attention. They're like, ADD, he must need Ritalin or something. And they were trying to like diagnose me with all these mental illnesses because I didn't want to sit for 3 hours learning about ox carts and why I need to be a slave. So anyway, that woke me up. But what really woke me, because I turned into a bit of a communist when I was about 11, 12. And then I found Ron Paul in about 2006 and started learning about Ron Paul. And that led me to read Mises, Hayek, Rothbard. That led to me really trying to play my views against other people. And I did many years of debating people. I left school in 9th grade to learn. I picked up books and read. I wanted to learn. I didn't want to be indoctrinated. So I spent a lot of time just reading and learning and debating myself, arguing with myself, trying to prove myself wrong so that I could come to conclusions about certain things. And I think that was incredibly important, and it worked out really well for me. Lee Stewie says, I skipped a lot of school, so the indoctrination didn't work on me. Yeah, exactly. And, a lot of only children, too, tend to break out of that to some degree, I've noticed. I was an only child until I was about 12. Let's see. Shinma Lestat says the school system is based on the USSR school system. Yeah, absolutely. There's a woman that I interviewed 2.5 years ago at the Red Pill Expo named Holly Swanson. Holly Swanson was, she wrote a book, The Green Revolution, something, I forget exactly what it was. It was about homeschooling versus the public school system and how the public school system was pushing green communist environmentalism on children, utilizing USSR standards. It was really, really crazy. They mentally abused me. When I was in elementary school, when I was in 5th grade, I got suspended more than 70 times that year. And I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't bully anyone. I was being attacked. If anything, I was the one being bullied. And they put me, I'll never forget this, in a small white room with a window mirror. So I only saw my reflection in it. They could see in. They wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. They wouldn't let me eat lunch. They would make me go in there and write down what I've done wrong. and in lines over and over again, just repeat over and over again. And if I left, they'd put me in there longer, and I would be in there sometimes for 5 days, obviously leaving to go home to sleep, go back and immediately into this room. And every now and then they'd let you go to the bathroom or something like that. But for the most part, if you banged on the door, no one would show up, and it was a huge fire hazard. By the way, it's illegal, but whatever, government, auditing government, that doesn't happen very often, or it doesn't turn out very well. But they essentially put me in this prison, this cell, and that's how I think of public schools. Public schools are indoctrination camps that destroy the child's ambitions, use the most important years of a child's life, and stoop them down to the level of being indoctrinated instead of being, thirsty for information and facts and learning and finding out who they are, being the best kind of person. Education as far as math and science are only a tiny part of education. Education comes down to personal experiences, playing your ideas off of other people, being wrong, failing, all those things, and you're not allowed to do that in public indoctrination camps. Anyway, let's see. Darth Shady Lavalin says, I was told that my brain was wrong because I didn't fit into the norm of the system. Absolutely. Tommy Tisdale says, I was hyper and thought for myself. Yeah. Jeff Toxicity says, I got expelled 3 times, arrested 19 times, and suspended 40 times. I was only a child, LOL. I'm not even going to tell you how many times I was arrested either. But anyway, it was all for the best. I never hurt anybody, so I don't have any regrets about any of it. I did the right thing. I mean, I did stupid things as far as my own, self-sustainability goes. I did stupid things, but I never victimized people. So my arrests, my expulsions, my failing classes, my suspensions, all that kind of stuff, I don't regret any of it, and I'm proud of it. I'm extremely proud of being suspended over 70 times in 5th grade. I was 10 and 11. I mean, it's just, these people are criminals, guys. These people are absolute criminals, masquerading as sweater vest, fake scarf wearing school marms with spectacle glasses or horn rim glasses that act like SJWs and pretend they're smart because they're a teacher and they teach 5th grade. It's sad. Anyway, Rick Shepard says, well, I gave you a thumbs up. I got to go my something. Low have a nice night, everyone. Just, why are you using so many emojis? So confusing. But thank you. I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate you tuning in, Rick. Always good to see you. Harmony 369 says, central bank money is now bootlicking socialist brownie points. Bitcoin fixes this. Yeah, well, central banking is a plank of communism to begin with. Anyway, make sure to press like if you haven't already. And for those that are unaware, YouTube is over party is trending on Twitter and has been all day. It says a bit about the world we're living in, though they just kicked it off the side panel right as I went live. But nonetheless, I don't know why there's all this K-pop crap showing up. I got to be careful that no NSFW stuff comes up, because that would not be good. So since I'm live on YouTube, it'll take like nothing to destroy me right now. Hey YouTube, sorry to be crass, this person says, but can you stop plowing animators in the, every half decade, please? I was seriously just about to start posting my own stuff before you made that seem too risky. I hope I'm wrong, but you've made it so we can't trust you. You're not wrong, man. Dusk Iyoku. Go support this guy's animation. It's sad to see so many creators get attacked. It is affecting a lot of animators, because people think cartoons mean children. But what about South Park? What about The Simpsons? What this is actually going to do with this COPPA legislation is it's going to expose children to more non-child friendly content. It's going to do harm to them. Everything YouTube does, it's like the government. Everything the government touches turns to crap. There's a reason why YouTube's similar in that way. This person says, the club says, being a new channel and seeing YouTube is over party is trending. And then it says, really thinking about quitting, but I like uploading videos and watching them on my free time, but I guess it's YouTube is over party. Yeah. Let's see. YouTube is over party. Everyone at YouTube seeing our complaints on Twitter. All right. Uh, let's see. Based Pharaoh says, how many times have people said, YouTube is over, let me tweet this, you know what, and I can watch this video onto it. You can say that all you want. People say the same thing about the economy, Based Pharaoh, but the fact of the matter is, if you've watched the slow incremental frog boil over time, they've deleted millions of channels, ruined millions of lives, literally at this point, and are now just arbitrarily taking everything down. There's a time when they were taking things down and it wasn't right, but it was few and far between. Now they're just going full force on everyone, changing the terms of service. You can blab on all you want, but if you actually read the terms of service and the COPPA legislation implying that they're going to take down all these channels and fine people $42,000, plus Susan Wojcicki herself saying that she's cutting down controversial content viewership by 70%, then you know this is legit, this is real, and it has been real before when people complained. It's just people like you sat there going, oh, everyone's always complaining, blah, 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 and then it gets worse and worse and worse, and it's an incremental frog boil, and you're too stupid to notice it. Nav.it says, guess this is a bad time to announce we have a new channel. Womp womp. Yeah. What is this? Have you ever heard of K-pop's main singer, Adolf Hitler? YouTube is over party. Okay. Whatever you say, dude. What's with all this K-pop stuff on the YouTube is over party? I don't get it. Do they call that K-pop for kids and screw over a whole bunch of people? I can see that happening, I guess. Just Fabled says, honestly, F YouTube. I miss the good old days. After the new update for community guidelines, the site is just for you know what at this point. See, I can't say it because I'm self-censoring, because literally anything could get my account taken down right now, and I don't want to sacrifice, like I said, I don't want to sacrifice all my information, all my stories for one story. Some people would say I should you know, tell that story, but that means I'd shut down all my other information that I want to bring to people, and that's even worse censorship, and that's less information reaching people. But again, we are on float.app, flote.app, and there's glitches on the site right now due to an update that's been installed. Let's see if this works here. So you guys should go follow at Brian as well, Brien, on Float. That's Brian Forrester, the one and only of Hidden Inca Tours. He started posting on there. Again, it's loading. It's taking a long time to load right now because of the updates that are being changed right now. It's really bad timing, but I know they're working their butts off on this because they're trying to get monetization rolled out, and they're doing what few other sites have done over the last while. Though Brian hasn't uploaded a picture or a background yet. I hope he does soon. Yeah, anyway, so you could see he's been posting on Float. So definitely go follow at Brien. That's Brian Forrester. He goes by at Brien, and I've been resharing some of his posts on my page. In fact, I'm going to share another one right now. There you go, Brian. Always great work from the great Brian Forrester. Again, you can follow me at Josh Searton at float.app, and I'm live streaming to Float right now as well. So let's see how that's going. I got $1 in super chats on float.app so far on this live stream. So let's see what this looks like right now. It's taking a little bit of time to load because they're doing the update. While I'm waiting, we got a GoFundMe, and again, when you see all that money in the GoFundMe, that's since I created it in June 2015. So don't get alarmed. That was over almost 5 years. So 4.5 years of donations, which I appreciate every cent of, and it's really all gone towards WAM and keeping us alive and allowing us to do this work 18 hours a day. We have Subscribestar as well as Patreon as well. We need to raise another $1,210 by January 1st, which we're really running out of time now because people keep deleting their pledges when I do these campaigns. But we need you guys to do this so that we can stay alive past January 1st, because YouTube's basically pushed us under. We're in so much debt, and I'm doing this 18 hours a day, and barely have time to eat. So again, just please check that out if you haven't already. We are live streaming on Float. Got Chrissy sent $3 in the super chat with a smiley face. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Chrissy. Awesome. King says, "Heyo, he talked himself to death." Luke Monkman says, "LOL." Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm basically deaf right now. destroyed my ear, and I was already deaf in this ear, so good times. Anyway, so what I was getting at earlier on is what I find crazy. Well, actually, this is a good tweet. Removable Sanity says, "I genuinely feel that this is what YouTube's office looks like after their latest announcement." Yeah, seriously, it's fine. It reminds me of that Homer Simpson meme too, where he's like relaxing on a couch, sleeping while there's just fire engulfing the house. Anyway, so one thing I was talking about earlier was that I was going to report on Vatican caught using charity donations to cover budget shortfalls. I was going to report on the Harvey Weinstein verdict, and I was going to report on Virginia Giuffre regarding Prince Andrew and Epstein and Clinton and stuff. And then I realized I can't anymore because YouTube changed their terms of service, and then it'll be considered attacking even a public figure now you can get taken down for, and at any time for no reason they can take down my account, and that's how they'll do it. And then I won't be able to get the other information I need to bring to you, and I'll be completely homeless as well because we haven't raised enough money in pledges yet to be able to stay alive. So I have no choice but to just, I can't, and it's really sad. This is where media has come. Now I'd like to do these videos on Float, I'd like to do these videos on BitChute and through Subscribestar and stuff like that, but I can't on YouTube. I just can't. I can't do videos that are more than usual controversial anymore on YouTube. That's the end of YouTube, and that is why this is trending largely, is hashtag YouTube is over party, because it's just gotten to the point of no return. And keep in mind, hashtag delete Facebook has been trending a lot lately as well. And we've also seen, I think it was hashtag social media side effects was also trending. So that tells you a bit about where people's minds are at. It's not just a right, it's not just a left, it's everyone now. Makeup tutorials, toy reviews, I mean, people opening packages and boxes and stuff, painters, gamers, artists, musicians, they're just taking down millions of channels, and it's disgusting. They're destroying free information. It's the worst car wreck ever because it's a monopoly on information online, and they've just ripped it to shreds, and it's sick. And it's almost like it was part of a script about controlling the masses, controlling the information. People move from mainstream media to YouTube to escape that kind of stuff, and now that's what YouTube has become. But worse, because you don't even have a YouTube alternative other than Float.app, which we need people like you to go join. Same with BitChute. We need people like you to go join. I got like no traction on BitChute at all. It's crazy. Minds, I got like no traction. PocketNet, I have like no traction. Float is the only thing I'm seeing traction on, and it's absolutely amazing because there's no algorithm telling people what they can or cannot see. This person, Remo Gonzalez, says YouTube is becoming the teacher who punishes kids that call out the bully. Hashtag YouTube is over party. And this person said, German dad from the 70s, download your favorite bullying vids before YouTube takes him down. Oh, man. The death of YouTube is upon us. Hashtag YouTube is over party. I see. Oh, someone just posted this We Are Change video. Hashtag YouTube is over party is trending. What happened, and what did Greta Thunberg do? Luke, prioritize your videos into like categories, and like just Greta Thunberg and YouTube is over party. Like that's an interesting mix in a report. Anyway. Yeah, it's not good times on YouTube at all. It's getting crazy, and we're shadow banned to death. And I mean, but meanwhile, everyone looks the other way when. Everyone looks the other way. Period. When you talk about this kind of stuff, it's a threat to humanity in general, and nobody really seems to care. And on top of that, people look the other way when cops murder hostages and civilians and use families in rush hour traffic as human shields, like in Miami recently. It's what kind of world are we living in, guys? I don't know. It's just I have a hard time having faith with this kind of stuff. Thank you, Media Unveiled, for sharing our video. Awesome. I will retweet your tweet. I don't know who Media Unveiled is, but they at Media_Unveiled on Twitter shares a lot of our content, and I really appreciate it. If you haven't joined us on Twitter, even though we're shadow banned on there too, and everything's terrible on Twitter, you can follow us at World Alt Media. But most importantly, follow us on Float.app. all linked below. And if you haven't already, you can buy Wham merchandise now. So make sure to check that out. This is one that I think everyone should have, especially in these trying times. The revolution will not be YouTubed. Get this shirt at our Teespring store, World Alternative Media. It's all linked below. There's hoodies, hoodie versions as well. There's cheaper classic tees, V-necks, all sorts of stuff, women's clothes. You got tank tops and stuff like that. So make sure to get one of those shirts. It's all linked below, and you can get it for Christmas still. You can get it delivered before Christmas. So make sure to check that out. Again, we have lots. Trudeau for prison, Creepy Old Guy 2020, Gobekli Tepe. Statism is cancer, end the Fed, F the Fed. Taxation is theft, and we have variations of all these things, by the way. The revolution will not be YouTubed. All I want for Christmas is Bitcoin. Taxation is theft. Atlantis was real. I support Wham. We got Wham socks, Wham mug. Trudeau for prison, as I said. I support Wham, another version. Government is organized crime. F war, make Bitcoin. The Sphinx is 12,000 years old. What math? This is one that I put together real quick, but I thought it was funny. It's math with Andrew Yang feeding a supporter on his knees whipped cream, because you got to have that one for this crazy statist collectivist election. Nobody for president 2020. Don't forget to get one of those. It says nobody for president 2020. Rule yourself. We also got a not a slave phone case. It comes in multiple colors. It's not just red. So we have that, which I think people should check out. We have it in yellow as well. We got it in orange, Bitcoin orange, I should add. Whatever this color is, kind of bluish. Purple if you want. White. And what is this? Like yellowish eggshell or whatever. Anyway, lots of options for that as well. So make sure to check that out. Rosa Parks, 1955. That's a good quote. Rule yourself. This one is fun. It comes in multiple colors too. I don't know why the ugliest colors show. I don't think there's an ugly color. It's just a weird of all the colors for that one to show. Blue, red, gray, another blue, white, yellow, eggshell again, and I guess pinkish purple. Anyway. And again, it comes in all different types, women's, men's, so on. So get your Wham merchandise now. End the Fed leggings, even for the ladies. End the Fed baby onesies. F the Fed hoodies, all that kind of stuff. This one is pretty good. This one is taxation is theft. Epstein didn't kill himself. Julian Assange is a hero. Government is organized crime. Fiat currency is trash. All wars are banker wars. The media lies. They want to divide us and rule yourself. All on one shirt. You got all the messages you need right there, guys. So, anyway, make sure to check out our Teespring store. It's all linked below. Anyway, let's get back to the chat. We got some super chats. All right. Jack Nolf sent $5 in the super chats. Thank you very much, Jack. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Those super chats go a long way, and it's the only thing that actually allows us to make any money here at Wham as far as our channel goes. I mean, YouTube has completely crippled us as far as monetization goes, so this is very necessary. Jeff Toxicity sent a 99 cents Canadian. Thank you very much. Again, everything helps. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Anthony Gonzalez says, sup, brother. Sup to you as well. Good to see you. Deem S says, greetings. Greetings to you as well. Anyway, Dark Shady Lavalin says, in Teespring, you need to select the color you want to show. It depends on which one you click before hitting the next button. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, just either way. If people want, we got a lot of selections, and it's all linked below. So please check that out. Jamie Goss says, Float being a pain, had to come back here. Yeah, so again, they're updating right now on Float. They're going through an update. And because of the update, and that update is really big, guys. That update means that we'll be able to monetize videos on Float. and I'll be able to put ads on videos on Float, which will mitigate all the problems that YouTube has caused. This is why with the YouTube is over party, everyone should be moving to Float.app. But right now it's just a little slow and a little glitchy because they're unrolling this next phase, and it's going to be huge. And it's honestly, I think it's going to cause people to flood over there. Don't forget, YouTube was down for like 5 or 6 days at a time when it was first up. I remember I was one of the first people on YouTube. Seriously, I got on YouTube when it was on the 6th page of Google in search results for streaming video sites. I was using something else called Yashi, Y-A-S-H-I, before YouTube, as well as LiveLeak and what was the other one? I can't remember. But anyway, I was using all these freaking stream sites, and then YouTube came along, and it was like, oh, it was just another one to have on the side. And I went on YouTube, and I was definitely, I think, in the first 200 people that got an account. It was by chance. Again, I was on the 6th page. I just happened to find YouTube because I was looking for other streaming sites, and I was going to every single one because I wanted to post videos online. And YouTube was just one of them, and I didn't think much of it because at the time it was just like some video of a guy at a zoo and a couple of videos of some guy pixelated talking and a few E-Bombs World videos that got uploaded to there, plus a few episodes of South Park and stuff. So anyway, let's see. Deem S says, taxation is theft. Absolutely. Get your taxation is theft shirt at our store. Matt Spence says, hey Josh, good to see you, Matt. Always good to see you. Turbo Prepper says YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is definitely what I think as well. We are losing viewership very fast here on this live stream. By the way, 68 people out of 136,000 people who are subscribed. That's a concern. This is why YouTube is over. YouTube is over party is trending. Deem S sent $2. Hope you are well. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that super chat, man. That's awesome. Again, those go a long way. Let's see, we got lots of people commenting here, but those super chats are very helpful, and I always just really truly appreciate everyone that does that. Dank Shadow says 50 minutes until the last full moon of the century. Oh yeah, that's right. It's on 12:12 a.m. what time? Because it's supposed to happen on December 12th at 12:12 a.m. But it's not of the last full moon of the century. It's the last full moon of the year of the decade. If it was the last full moon of the century, we're all in terrible trouble. We must pray and gather around our loved ones, and yeah. Last full moon of the century, just the moon crashes into Earth. That's what I call a full moon. Anyone ever wonder why the moon doesn't crash into Earth? Does that not just boggle your mind? I mean, it has to be hollow. They've done the mathematical probability of the moon, and the moon, if at the size that we see, if fully in mass down to the core, then the moon should have crashed into Earth already. So it has to be somewhat hollow. It's one of these things that just blows my mind away. The moon just shocks me every time. I've driven down the highway multiple times where I'm driving directly into like a full moon or something, and the whole time I'm just thinking, what's stopping that thing from hitting us? But physicists have noted that the moon must not be complete in mass because of its distance from Earth. It should have already crashed into Earth if it was completely solid in the way that you look at the moon and you think it's completely solid. You think it's all the way through. Some people say it's similar to Earth's core. Anyway, the size that it is, the weight would mathematically mean it would have to crash into Earth. Anyway, I'm losing all the viewers talking about this, but Truth, Money, and Freedom says, I've got used to the moon not hitting the Earth by now, Josh. Yeah, well, most of us have, but I don't know, man. It's interesting. Anyway, we're losing all of our viewers here. I'm going to go back to Twitter and see what people are saying in the hashtag YouTube is over party. All right, time to celebrate. So again, thank you to Media Unveiled for sharing our live stream. We got lots of tweets going up. Let's see. This person here says their name is Schlurpix. That's a nice name. These new enforcement of rules are going to be very detrimental to my YouTube channel as well as literally thousands of other creators. Try millions, man. Because of these new terms of services, I'm genuinely thinking about quitting YouTube. Yeah, millions of people are feeling the same. Let's see what else happens here. Man, what's with all the K-pop videos showing up? I don't get it. Are K-pop videos being taken down for being child friendly or something? It's very, very strange. This Mako says, "Hey, YouTube is over, party. YouTube is over. If you could help me to get some info for a new website alt, I would be glad." We'll try float.app, man. Let's see. We got. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. None like Joshua. There can only be one Josh, so you can go by Joshua. Joshua. I'm the only Josh. Okay. Anyway, they said, "What did I tell you about YouTube adopting the same rules as Chinese YouTube? Here are the Chinese YouTube rules on the left and YouTube's new rules on the right. YouTube is over, party. You're not allowed to be mean. That's not nice." Well, yeah, exactly. So he presents a good point here. Chinese versus American. Using an extreme insult to dehumanize an individual based on their intrinsic attributes. For example, look at this dog of a woman. She's not even a human being. She must be some sort of mutant or animal. Who are they quoting? Who says that? That's like not even good. That sounds like something a 12-year-old would say. It's not even like even bad trolls have better insults than that. That's just like, look at that dog of a woman. Like, these people have no business deciding what we can or cannot see to begin with, especially considering they're so terrible at knowing public discourse, public conversation, public trends, and it's crazy. And they're trying to be the new trend. They're old, they're outdated, they are an old guard system. YouTube is over. Postmodern Cynic says, clicks on YouTube video. Before this video starts, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, NordVPN. Nope. Clicks on another video. Thanks to our sponsor, Audible. Nope. Clicks on another. Shout out to Dollarsha. Nope. I can't wait for this industry to collapse. Oh, sounds like a communist who doesn't like the fact that because so few people help fund medias and channels, unfortunately, people need sponsors. There's nothing wrong with having a sponsor. This is sponsored by Dollar Shave Clubs. Who cares? Why does that bother you? Imagine that bothering you. Imagine being so incredibly privileged as a leftist that bothers you. Ridiculous. The Strawberry Turt says, well done for killing your platform and making viewers and creators alike lose even more faith in you. People will abuse this new harassment policy and destroy the ability to criticize online in the process. I hope you're happy. Hashtag YouTube is over party. Yeah. Someone on the internet says, everything was fine. You must put the vids back up, YouTube. Okay. So Susan Wojcicki recently said that she was outwardly or openly stopping people, 70% of the average viewers from seeing controversial content. So she's cutting viewership on controversial videos 70%. That's a shadow banning we've been talking about for years. And Twitter just came out with new terms of service where they said that they as well are going to hide the visibility of controversial content. All at the same time, we just did a video on that a few days ago about how all these big tech companies are colluding. TikTok is doing the same thing. Look at this loser here. So, oh wait, I can't say things like that anymore on YouTube because my channel can be taken down. I'm just kidding. No one's a loser. Everyone's equal. Everyone's great. No one ever does anything wrong except for literally everyone according to YouTube. So I don't know. But this person said conservatives are butthurt because YouTube basically said, no, you cannot effing bully people on our platform. Imagine. No, it's a bit bigger than that, buddy. And even like, it's not about bullying. It's that's one part of the terms of services. They're also saying that they can arbitrarily take down any video they want. They can also say that they can the FTC can fine you $42,000 of video if they arbitrarily think that that children could technically watch a video that you post. I mean, it's crazy. They say no edgy content at the same time as they say no family-friendly content, and they're saying we have to stop the data collection of children. Well, then stop collecting people's data and selling it to the Chinese government. Maybe then you don't have to worry about paying $170 million fines in the future, YouTube, or kicking literally all your creators off, demonetizing everyone, shadow banning everyone, and getting all these creators fines of $42,000, which is unsustainable and something that you cannot keep up with. Imagine being this ridiculously stupid. Last Divinity says, YouTube, I did my time as a child. I'm now a 21-year-old adult. I want to hear people say the F word. Yeah, and I can't even say it. Again, if I say it, it's not family-friendly content, but also if I don't say it, I could be... It's just, I don't even know what to do anymore. It's like PewDiePie did a video recently on this and how absurd it was. It just didn't make any sense at all. It's like, again, edgy content, no. Family-friendly, no. Then what can we do, YouTube? What is there to do? It reminds me of that SpongeBob meme. The whole city's burning in the background, and SpongeBob says, look, Patrick, we saved the city. Yeah, this is what YouTube's doing. Oh, man, it's so millions of lives are literally being thrown upside down. And it's just so crazy. And there's still these people that support it. Imagine being that person. And now I can't even criticize those people. I'll get my channel deleted if I criticize those people that support censorship. Like, where are we in this world right now? What kind of reality are we living in? We're going into the 2020s like this, guys. This is going to be a new reality, and if people don't do anything about it, we are so screwed. We are so screwed. Join us on float.app, flote.app. Matt Spence sent $4 Canadian in the super chat. Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate the super chats. Those mean a lot to me. Says keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Awesome. You're always very supportive, and I really appreciate it. And we got another super chat here. Let me just scroll up to it. £3 from Robert Carr. Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the thumbs up. Really great to have such awesome supporters out there. And again, for those that are interested, we do have a Teespring store, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. We got lots and lots and lots of selections, so make sure to grab one of our shirts. It helps support Wham and keeps us alive. So anyway, let's see what we got in the chat here. We got 72 out of 136,000 people watching. I feel like when I do screenshots, our viewers go up. Make sure to press like if you haven't already. It helps keep us in the algo to some extent. This is one of the top trends in the world right now, and we have 136,000 subscribers and 70 people watching out of 136,000 people. This is why YouTube is over. I see people, and someone mentioned it earlier, creators that have 2,000 or 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they'll get 200 to 300 viewers on a live stream. Like, it's just so wrong on every level. It hurts my mind. It hurts my being. It hurts my soul. Not being able to criticize things that are wrong. Like, I can't criticize people anymore on YouTube. Like, I don't even get it. Are you a public figure the second that you come out and say something publicly? You're a figure in the public, right? So, and I'm not, I mean, every video that's calling for the death of Trump, every video that's calling for the death of YouTubers, all the commenters that threaten to kill me, all the people that tell me to kill myself within 3 seconds of publishing a video, which is obviously bots, which obviously the YouTube AI technology isn't very good at stopping. All of that is okay, but I'm like, pedophiles are bad, and they're like, nope, you're gone. We're shutting you down. You've got too much. You've had way too much to think, and we're gonna shut you down, destroy your life, and promote pedophilia on this network. I mean, under the guise of helping children. That should not watch this video, by the way. It hurts me to my core that I can't be real on this platform. I want to swear. I want to call people out. And I'm literally swallowing these things, and I feel it in my chest. I can't say what I think. I can't say what I feel. And YouTube is stifling speech under the guise of, and this is the craziest part, to keep free expression on YouTube. Imagine that. Imagine being the person that's shutting down free speech and free expression, and then saying it's to help free expression. It's so freaking insane. I'm trying so hard not to swear because I can get my account taken down now for it because I'm a news channel. Oh my god. Join us on float.app again, flote.app. I'm at Josh Sigurdsson. It's a little glitchy today because they're doing an update which will bring in monetization to videos on Float, which is going to help all creators move over flawlessly to Float and hopefully even carry over their catalogs eventually. And they're looking for investors as well. That's a huge opportunity in my opinion. Alex S. says, go from Scarborough, Ontario. Hey, how's it going, Alex? Good to see you. I've been to Scarborough once. Jerry K says we have to put a stop to this in all capitals, and rightly so in all capitals, because seriously, so Sammy says, dude, I listen to many channels where they drop the F-bomb quite a bit and they're still around. Yeah, I know, but they've been demonetized 100%, and I need sponsors and I need an ability to make money on this platform, like pledges, like we have on Subscribestar and Float, or on well, you can pledge on Float as well, and then Patreon, all linked below. We need those things to survive because I work 18 hours a day doing these videos. Anyway, I'm just getting really frustrated. I'm really truly feeling sick about this kind of stuff. I'm gonna give myself a heart attack, honestly. Because I've been just so stressed about it. Every time I think about it, I just get this feeling in my chest like I'm going to have a heart attack. Like, I just... YouTube is destroying a generation here, but they're also prompting people long-term to move to another, a better censorship-resistant platform like Float.app and BitChute. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's an emotional issue because, Julian Assange is in prison. Epstein was covered up. This massive child rape ring was covered up by ABC and Disney. I'm sure other medias as well. It's just what we know about through Project Veritas that was leaked. Then BBC covered up for Jimmy Savile, one of the most notorious pedophiles of all time that allegedly raped hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of children. And that's okay. And then what I'm saying isn't. It's just, that's what we're going to be stuck with. Oh, God, we got the trolls coming in. Not Fooled says you may have overvalued your content. Maybe you don't like my content, so you can stop watching because I don't know why you're here if you don't like it. Saint Earth says time to get a real job. Working 18 hours a day is more than the average person works. It is a real job, and I provide a service to millions of people over time, millions and millions of people over time. And that is more than many people can say working at a desk job. Just because you're not happy with the way your life is doesn't mean everyone needs to stoop to be you and to imitate your problems. I mean, it's just I always notice this. The trolls come in at the same time. It's like 3 or 4 all come in at the same time and start commenting at the same time. They're not receptive to logic. They're clearly paid. Well, a lot of them are. Some of them aren't paid. They're just losers. But and the ones that are paid are losers too. Anyway, Matt Spence says the early days of YouTube were the best. Long gone now. Yeah, they've been long gone for a while. It's absolutely terrible. Rob Shilem says, sent Australian $5. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Says, call out Israeli war crimes and the genocide of our Palestinian brothers. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I call out government, period. Because government, the only thing they're really efficient at doing is murdering. They're not even good at stealing, though that is what allows them, that's what funds their murdering ventures around the world while people wave flags in support of them. But the Israeli government has massacred and murdered countless people. They're disgusting. I want to see Israel abolished. but I want to see all governments abolished. So I do call out Israel. I think they should be called out, and they've clearly to all the bombs that they're sending in over the wall that they built versus the ones that are going back at them. There's obviously a noticeable difference. And also on the ground, people don't seem to really care. Israelis and Palestinians alike. When you talk to them, they have nothing against Jews, Palestinians. The Jews on the ground tend to have nothing against the Muslims. They sit side by side. They work side by side. They go to school together. They are roommates with each other. But the media props it up to create further divide, to cause these people to attack each other further and create more of that discourse. And I think, honestly, it plays into the Greater Israel Project, which is meant to go from the Nile River to the Euphrates and unleash a massive order Israeli state throughout the region, which obviously they've been working on for a very long time. We see new super chat here. Juan Jose Alvarado sent 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. Wham, one of the best alternative medias in the world, joined Float. Absolutely, thank you so much, and I really appreciate those kind words. That means a lot to me. It's been such an amazing journey starting off. I went years without making any money at this because I had the passion to do it, and I still do, and I have it more than ever because they're really cracking down on speech more than ever. But starting off thinking I could maybe reach a few hundred people, and then it just ballooned into this massive thing. Unfortunately, it just got shut down exactly when I hit 130,000 subscribers, and it's just been stuck since about January, February of this year. But nonetheless, it means the world to me to see all the people that do still come back and still find a way to find my videos despite them being shadow banned and hidden from most people. So for example, suggested videos made up 72% of my content. So suggested videos are the videos on the side panel of the screen. That made up 72% of all my views for a long time. But what happened immediately after I interviewed David Icke was that they cut that down to 1.2%. So from 72% to 1.2%. So that's why I'm not getting new subscribers. That's why I'm not reaching people. And they only show 2% of subscribers notifications and my videos. And out of that 2%, only about 50% click on the video, which is actually a really good turnover rate. So that says a lot. KH says, go Josh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sammy says, just bought a $50 shirt, no money left. Thank you, Sammy. That's awesome. Was it one of my shirts or a shirt or in general? I'm not sure if I know, but either way, so the Teespring thing, for profits to work out in my favor in any way, they're a little bit more expensive than I'd like them to be. So I can't, but there is a cheaper, so there's a $21 classic tees, and I have a few classic tees that are less than $20 actually. But Sammy says, one of yours, dude. Well, thank you so much. I really truly appreciate that. Rob Shilem says, okay, bye everybody, know your enemy. Yeah, well, there's definitely I 100% agree that Israel is a horrible state. I think most governments are, all governments are. But anyway, Sammy, thank you so much for the purchase of the shirt. Means a lot to me to see people supporting Wham in that way, and you get to support a pretty cool shirt, in my opinion. Again, for those that are interested, we got the Wham Teespring store up. It's been, at long last, it's taken way too long to get it up, but nonetheless, we have clothing, we have apparel, we have pillows, mugs, socks, phone cases, lots of stuff. So, and we got hoodies, and we got tights, leggings, and stuff like that. We got End the Fed socks. I bet you've never seen any of those. This is an interesting version of our End the Fed t-shirt, which we can get for cheaper here, but also, and you could get one for your kid if you want. But this is the End the Fed shirt. They didn't let me put the lettering higher, so it's kind of weird. But I think when you actually wear it, it looks pretty good. But it's got a Wham logo on the back and money on one of the sleeves. I don't know how that looks, but you can decide that. We got hoodies and all sorts of stuff like that. So anyway, got lots and lots and lots of options. Anyway, Juan Jose Alvarado says, if at least half of the YouTube subscribers donated $2 per month, that will be enough to sustain Wham and make it grow. Love the taxation of Steph t-shirts. I'll get it also. Absolutely. Well, you know what? If at least 10% donated $1, it would make it far beyond what I need to the point where I could fund Wham full-time, fund editor so I could get 10 times the content out a day. I can do way more documentaries. I could focus on my documentaries. I could do way more interviews. I could report for more events. I mean, that's if 10% donated $1 a month. Because if 10% donated $1 a month, that would be $13,000 a month coming in. So obviously that's way more than I need. But yeah, anyway, that's what would happen if it worked out that way. So actually, like, if very few amount of people actually have to send $1 a month compared to, like, percentage-wise compared to my full audience, for it to really change everything. And if it's not myself, there's Press for Truth, there's We Are Change, there's Sam Tripoli, there's News to Share, there's Carrie Wedler, there's Freedom Free for All, there's so many, Girl Gone Crypto, there's a whole bunch of channels out there that do great work. And actually, I do want to showcase something real quick, so I'm going to get it up on the screen for you guys. A guy that has come to a lot of my classes at Anarchapulco and stuff. By the way, use promo code WHAM to get tickets to Anarchapulco 2020. See me there among Ron Paul, G. Edward Griffin, all these other people. But anyway, so I'm gonna get this channel up on the screen. So there's this channel now that just launched that's doing really good work. And I'll put it up on the screen for you guys to see here. And I think people should subscribe while YouTube still exists anyway. It's called Anarchy for Freedom India. So this is one of the few people that is in India that's actually doing independent media work. And I think he needs to be supported. I really appreciate what he is doing. So that's Anarchy for Freedom India. So I definitely think you guys should check him out and subscribe. He's on Float as well. Let me get that for you too. Again, float.app, flote.app. Transactions. I'm just getting this guy. Okay, so he's at Anarchy for Freedom, number 4. So Anarchy for Freedom on Float. So everyone should definitely go and give him a follow on float.app as well. Big shout out to him. He does really awesome work, and he joins some of our live streams here from time to time. I'm not sure if he's live or on the live stream now, but anyway, he does awesome work, and I think people should support him. I believe in supporting other independent medias. Something that's really important to me has always been to support other independent medias and not look at it in the sense that it's competition. Mary Quinn says BitChute. Yeah, we are on BitChute. I was showing that on the screen earlier, though it's super glitchy when it comes to videos and has been for 2 years, and it's really frustrating. But I'm at World Alternative Media on BitChute. We only have 612 subscribers. We saw 2 more people join and subscribe on there. Good to see. Glad to see that. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. The people who subscribed. See, you could see one of the videos that I posted still invisible on the screen there. And that is because, well, I've been trying to upload at the same time as I'm posting it on YouTube, but I haven't been able to keep up because there's glitches, and sometimes it'll take 2 days for the video to go up, and then sometimes it'll just disappear and never publish. So that's an issue with BitChute, and I keep re-uploading a new thumbnail or a profile picture, and it keeps disappearing. So I don't know. There's glitches that need to be fixed on BitChute. If anyone at BitChute is watching this, guys, please, seriously, for the sake of future free information online, do something about it. Let's see what's going on here. Luke Monkman on Float says, love Float. We are being funneled into controlled YouTube alt so they can further separate us and control the message. I don't trust BitChute, he says. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything against Voltron Forever at Float says, I like BitChute. Yeah, I don't have anything necessarily against BitChute. I just don't think that they're together right now. Now, Float is a little glitchy today, speaking of glitches, because they're unrolling new updates that are allowing us to actually monetize content. So all the gamers, makeup artists, cartoonists, toy reviews, all sorts of stuff that are doing videos on on YouTube, all of you guys should go to Float, because now you can monetize on Float. They're unrolling the monetization real fast. Reach out to me if you have any issue, or if you want to invest too. I think that might be, in my opinion, a good opportunity. But join Float, do this kind of stuff, and you can post there and make money on your post there, and get super chats on Float as well. So again, thanks to King, thanks to C Shunda, thanks Chrissy, I appreciate it. And Luke Monkman says me too for now. And again, people like Brian Forrester are on, Press for Truth, Stefan Molyneux's on Float. I mean, if regardless of whatever you think of Stefan Molyneux, he's on Float. A lot of big names are joining Float. I can't remember everyone that's on it. Some people will have to refresh me on that. But there's a lot of big channel. True News is on Float now. Ken Bozak's on there. Even cam girls are going to Float. I mean, it's a place for literally everyone. They're looking to replace Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and then Patreon and all these other sites all in one. They're coming out with message boards soon. They're integrating Wire. You can pledge to people. You can have encrypted messaging. The messages are encrypted, so they can never spy on your data and give it to anyone. There's no algorithm, so they don't decide what you can or cannot see. You see what you want to see. They are giving creators 100% of revenue on the ads on their videos. YouTube gives a very small percent of monetization overall. So, I mean, the future is on float.app, guys. flote.app. Join it now. It's huge. I couldn't be more excited about it. We see, I think I just got another super chat there. Jerry Whip sent Canadian $3 with the thumbs up sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Always really happy to get the support from all of you great people that watch Wham, and it means a lot to me. I've got videos loaded up for tomorrow to post in the morning at some point. I got interviews lined up. I'm looking to interview Tim Ball. I'm looking to interview G. Edward Griffin, Sam Tripoli, and possibly Eddie Bravo and Rob Kirby in the next 2 weeks. Obviously, Christmas is a little bit in the way of certain things. I might do a small Christmas broadcast on Christmas. Really don't want to go to Canada for that, but I have to. My family's there. But anyway, so just anything that anyone could help. I know the Christmas season is difficult when it comes to money, but if you can, make sure to help us on things like Patreon and Subscribestar. Again, we are on Patreon, and we need to raise another $1,210 by January 1st in order to stay afloat. We are so below that mark right now. In one day, I went from 1,500 to 1,200, and now we've been stuck at 1,200 for like a week and a half. So $1,210 in monthly pledges we need by January 1st to stay alive as a media. There's also Subscribestar on top of Patreon. $1, $2, $5 a month. All of those things make a great deal of difference and help us stay alive. So anything you guys could do, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone that does help Wham, and even just liking and sharing, pressing to be notified, and joining us on these other platforms. All those are free, so I mean, there's no excuse then. And there is an iOS app for Float, as well as an Android app for Float, so you can get it on your phone. So anyway, there's Subscribestar. We do subscriber-only content, including our JFK documentary that got banned in 2017. Put a lot of work into that documentary, and they just took it down. It was crazy because they said that there's a copyrighted 3 seconds of Lee Harvey Oswald saying, "I'm a patsy." That's a clip. It's fair use. I utilized it as fair use. I fought it. They said, yeah, it is fair use, so it's fine. And then they approved the video. But then they demonetized it. And then they hid it from being viewed, so they froze the views on it for 3 months. And then suddenly, without telling me, they took the video down. So on my account, I could click on the video and watch it. And I could share the link, and it never says anywhere that other people can't watch it. But when other people go to click on the link, it says this video is not available in your country. And it says that in every country in the world that I've tested. Every single one. So they just banned the video and have never given me any recourse or any response to my dispute over it. It's crazy. And being over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm able to access a live chat and talk with the premium creators chat and talk live in a chat box with them, which is, by the way, terribly built. Just exits and then your conversation's gone. It's terribly built. You'd think they'd have better technology at Google. But anyway, they won't even answer me on that. So, I mean, it's brutal. From 1,420 followers on Float to, let's see if we got any new subscribers here on Float. Again, it's glitched the F out right now because they're updating the whole site. So there's going to be issues at the moment. It's a very temporary thing. But anyway, to 1,422. So we got 2 new followers on Float since the last time I mentioned it. Or the last time I refreshed like 25, 30 minutes ago. So we need more people doing that, guys. I mean, more than 2 people. I really appreciate the 2 people that joined. I'm going to go follow you after this, but we need more people than that. I mean, we're talking about the future of free information online. It's free. Just go and flote.app and get an account. It'll take 2 seconds. It means a lot to the future of free information and your intelligence as a free individual receiving information online. I do have my vlog channel, Josh Searson on YouTube, which I post videos to from time to time. See, we got 1 new subscriber on it since we started this live stream. Do a lot of shenanigans on there. So definitely worth checking out. But again, that's YouTube, and there's a reason why we have the YouTube is over party, guys, because, well, it's one of the #1 trends on Twitter right now. See if anything else is loaded. I just don't get why there's so much K-pop showing up on the YouTube is over hashtag. I just got to make sure that no nudity shows up randomly on here, because you know how Twitter is. Prosmatic _YT, so at Prosmatic said 39 seconds ago, due to YouTube's ridiculous new guidelines to bullying, iDubbbz's content cop on Leafy has been permanently deleted, and Leafy himself isn't happy about this. Okay. Yeah, they're deleting so much right now, and they're deleting a lot off of Twitter too. They unrolled was very similar terms of service on Twitter at the exact same time as YouTube. A clear collusion. Mitchell Biller says, holy crap, is YouTube the next target of content cop? Because if so, then YouTube really is over, because iDubbbz is the Eminem of YouTube roasting. That would also explain them suddenly doubling down on bullying. He has been baiting them this entire time. YouTube is over party. Anyway, it's just so... YouTube is over party. I made this statement as a joke one time. Why does it become truer every day? Says McCreamy, I like Robe Corpse. Okay. Extra May of Free, it says on Twitter. People have the weirdest names on Twitter. Kaylee, at Kaylee Tyla 1998 says, person has actual good criticism of someone. YouTube, you're a bully. Oh my god, yeah. It's so frustrating. This truly is a tragedy in the making. So many lives ruined too. Let's see. Messin says YouTube straight up took the U out of YouTube, and I'm glad we're all finally getting sick of their you know what. Hashtag YouTube is over party. Zohack says YouTube is over party. YouTube should demonetize themselves for being a widely covered tragedy. Yeah. Matthew Clinton says, hashtag YouTube is over party. Always wanted to be a YouTuber, but with these nonsensical policies and massive gray areas, I think it's time to populate a better video sharing platform. This is the end of an era. Let me just respond to this guy. BitChute and Float.app. Float is unrolling their monetization right away and will be giving 100% of revenue to the creators. Tell your friends. Anyway. Let's see. Doc says, why is it surprising that YouTube pulled this stunt? We've known for a very long time that they care more about advertisers and money than creators who make the money. If the massive YouTubers left, YouTube's views would suffer. Actually, YouTube lost tens of thousands of dollars a month by demonetizing me, because they make more than I do off the monetization. They don't actually care about the money at all. I wasn't making that much, but the rate that YouTube was taking from me, and by the way, when they demonetize my videos, they still put ads on it. They say it's not advertiser friendly, then they put ads on it anyway, and then take all the revenue for themselves. So anyway, it's not about money, it's about control. They don't care about money. If they care about money, they would care about their shareholders, they would care about their content creators, they would care about the people that bring them money. They're literally wiping hundreds of millions of dollars off of their market cap by doing this. Seriously, 100%. Katie says, the more videos you remove, the more creators are mistreated and disrespected, the madder people are going to get. You better fix this, you know what, YouTube. You are going to drive people who made you rich away. Susan Wojcicki, stop the insanity. Agreed at K_Dutton08. I 100% agree. When you see hashtag YouTube is over party trending, then you realize that nothing will change because people are stupid. I really hope you're wrong. Random Twitter person. Your name's too long. I'm not going to do that whole thing. Kaylee says, everyone, fix the copyright system, YouTube. Pointless policies, take it or leave it. Yeah. Anyway, it's terrible. There's tens of thousands of tweets going out constantly to the hashtag YouTube is over party trend. I'm not here 6626 says, YouTube was created for people like you and me. The whole point was to watch things that weren't on TV. Billions of users later, they suddenly want mainstream content only to rewrite their TOS to subjective BS. Think they'll change their name? MSMTube. Hashtag MSMTube. I like that, yeah. That should be their name, because basically now they just force Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, BBC, ABC, pedophile covering up, sick, disgusting medias that promote war and poverty and have led to millions of deaths, and by promoting these wars, all the while covering up for massive pedophile rings. It's just horrible. ABC and Disney and BBC are just the ones that we know about. I mean, imagine what else there is. It's just sickening, disgusting. And people moved because they didn't trust mainstream media, naturally, to slightly decentralize from there to YouTube. And now YouTube is all mainstream media. You type in a video, for example, you could type in an entire title of one of my videos with World Alternative Media after it, and you'll still go 5 or 6 pages before you see the video, which might have, by the way, 900,000 views, and then all you see is like videos that have 30 views from Fox News and Associated Press. Like, people don't even watch Associated Press when it's forced on people at the top of the screens. I mean, look at the Associated Press YouTube account. They have like 20 views on their videos. It's brutal. And I mean, I'm pretty sure their subscribers are mostly fake. And, this is the stuff they push on you. So, for example, you look up, what was I looking up the other day? I was looking up Karahan Tepe, because I did a documentary there. It's a little-known site in the middle of Turkey by the Syrian border that I went to recently. Did a whole documentary on it. Was one of the only people to ever do a video on it, and especially a well-edited one. And all these videos came first that had, like, no views compared to mine. And some videos that had nothing to do with the actual, what I typed. Happens all the time. I was looking for references to show screenshots of videos I had done in the past on a recent video I did, to show a screenshot of it, because we were talking about it in the video. I think it was John Snyson and I. And I look up the video, and it's just, it took me 6 pages to find it. Bitcoin Ben. Do you know who Bitcoin Ben is? Awesome guy. Bitcoin Ben, I saw him at a conference in Vegas here recently. And he was like, dude, I haven't seen you in years. What's happened? Where did your channel go? And he looked it up on his phone. Your channel doesn't show up when I look World Alternative Media up on YouTube. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look at it. My channel's not there. My channel was not in the search when you typed in World Alternative Media. Now, I tested this on other computers. It works. But in his case, it wasn't, which tells me that there's some kind of algo that every certain amount of people will just not be able to find my content at all, period. Steven Crowder recently came out about this problem. That's like, it's so wrong on every level. It's so freaking crazy. Man, that's frustrating. Anyway, for those just tuning in, make sure to press like if you haven't already. I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. It's gotten to the point where it's just out of control. Ali says float is giving an error when I'm trying to join. It shouldn't. Keep trying or try again later, Ali. I'm sorry that happened. They are unrolling a new update on Float right now. That this update is actually just to allow people to monetize the content. So it's a really big update. It's just running a little slow today. So that's just a temporary thing. It won't last. So don't worry too much, but try again. It eventually works. It's just, it's really laggy today, which is unfortunate. I am streaming live on Float right now. Let me see what it looks like here. King, who is the CEO of Float, says in the chat, sorry if you're running into issues with Float right now, guys. We're still optimizing our server configuration. Should be back to normal later tonight. Chrissy sent the happy face. Voltron Forever says, Josh, are you on MeWe? It's better than Facebook. It is better than Facebook, but honestly, I'm looking at Float. I'm putting my whole career behind Float because I believe in it. I think it's going to change everything. Studio 8424 says, hey, good to see you. Always glad to see you join us. And anyway, so for those watching, I'm going to refresh this page right now because, again, there are those glitches, so I just want to see what the chat looks like. There might be more in the chat that I'm not seeing. Let that load. Again, super chats are possible on Float, so that's another really cool thing, and you don't get extorted of those super chats. So anyway, let's go back to my profile here, and 1,422 followers. Let's see what it says now. 1,423. We got one person since the last time. Go and follow, guys. We need you to join us on these other social media platforms. It's more important than ever before. I know it's glitchy. I know that's probably impeding on some of you guys signing up. That isn't the norm. I guarantee you Float is very stable. It's just right now they're updating, so there's been problems. So I apologize for that. It's bad timing with the hashtag YouTube is over party happening right now. Anyway, we got BitChute. We got Patreon. So again, we need to still raise $1,210 in monthly pledges by January 1st to survive as a media. And all it takes is a $1 a month pledge. That's all it takes. We got Subscribestar as well. We really, really, really need your help, guys. It's how you save free information online. And also, don't forget to check out our store on Teespring. We got lots and lots of stuff happening on Teespring right now. We got lots of clothing. You can get F the Fed, End the Fed, Gobekli Tepe stuff, Trudeau for prison if you're Canadian. The revolution will not be YouTube. There's that. Statism is cancer. All the sayings shirt that we have here that says taxation is theft. Epstein didn't kill himself. Julian Assange is a hero. Government is organized crime. Fiat currency is trash. All wars are banker wars. The media lies. They want to divide us. Rule yourself. I think that's a good shirt. You should get it. Anyway, we got cheaper versions of a lot of these shirts. Many versions. This one here is only $19.99, and it helps support Wham. You got the premium hoodies as well as the regular hoodies, which are $34.99. The premiums are $41.99. I've marked down the price as much as I can without it not being any profit for me, which we obviously need for Wham. So just consider it a donation where you get something in return. I know for years people have been saying, put your products online so we can buy Wham related stuff. And I'm like, okay, and here we are. We haven't made a whole lot of sales yet, so anything helps. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are the change you wish to see, and they are truly helping free information online. We have Atlantis was real, which everyone needs. Taxation is theft. I support Wham, Wham socks, Wham mugs, Trudeau for prison, hoodies, and it comes in multiple colors. So these aren't just all the colors. There's multiple colors. You can select them in the thing. I support Wham. Government is organized crime. F war, make Bitcoin. Again, in men's, all sizes, hoodies, V-necks, tank tops, women's clothes, leggings, socks, all sorts of stuff. Nobody for President 2020, not a slave phone case. This one that just says nah, Rosa Parks, 1955. You need that one. Everyone needs that shirt. Rule Yourself shirts with the NPCs. Creepy Old Guy 2020 with Joe Biden sucking on a finger. The Internet is My School. Göbekli Tepe. Statism is Cancer. Another Wham case. End the Fed. End the Fed socks. End the Fed leggings. End the Fed baby premium onesie. And toddler clothing as well for your kids. F the Fed. And all sorts of stuff like that. And if you have any requests, let me know. Anyway, so that's that. And we have GoFundMe. Everything's linked below, guys. I really appreciate anything that you can do to help us out. It makes a huge difference. Hall says capitalism is freedom, socialism is tyranny. Yeah, I could do that. I could do front and back, or I could do all on the front if you want. I can make that happen. Syndicate says capitalism is cancer too, not just government. Capitalism is just free exchange of goods for services and people voluntarily deciding and shaking hands and deciding on something. Corporatism, which is fascism, is a problem, and that's what too many people mistake as capitalism. It's not capitalism. Capitalism exists without government. Anyway. Yeah, Silver Slave 333 says we don't have capitalism at the moment, not even close. Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with capitalism? What's wrong with me shaking someone's hand and saying yes, and them saying yes, I agree on the value and the product. That's it. Anyway, Zane Dixon says 80-20 rule, pure capitalism is slash and burn. So this is what I have to say about that. And I've been talking about this for a while. So, whenever we talk about like communism and like Soviet Russia and China killing tens and tens of millions of people, mass murdering, starvation, epidemics, disease breakouts, economy collapses, hyperinflation, all sorts of stuff like that. People say, well, that's not real socialism, or that's not real communism. Now, when people say, well, capitalism is terrible, I often say, well, that's not real capitalism, it's corporatism. So let's take that and run with it. So let's say that Soviet Russia and, China, communist China aren't real communism. I'll take that. Fine, sure. That's okay. I'll take that and run with it. So not real socialism has led to millions of deaths. Not real capitalism has brought millions out of poverty, even if it has in turn created a big monopolized system with the government, which, again, is not real capitalism. But if that's the case, then God forbid we ever see real socialism. If millions of people died under not real socialism, imagine what real socialism would be, and imagine the prosperity that real capitalism would have if not real capitalism has led to so many people being brought out of poverty. It's exchange of goods for service, competition on the market, innovating, selling the best product at the lowest price that benefits both sides mutually, and you compete on the market for a better version of that product at a cheaper price, and that's how you succeed, is by pleasing people and being good and decent. And also, the weekend wasn't created by government. The weekend was created via capitalism, and because I think it was Ford. The standard of living went up. So anyway, and it's saved millions of lives. Infant mortality has dropped dramatically. Even just since the 90s, it's dropped dramatically. Syndicate says, how is anarchism, libertarian socialism, slavery? Lol, it's about abolishing all forms of illegitimate authority. What? How is anarchism, libertarian socialism? You are labeling that. That's a subjective issue. Anarchism can be subjectively identified as multiple things. It's not a core issue. I would like to think that anarchism would be not no rules, but no rulers. You can voluntarily sign up for a business that then provides a product and you work for them and you get a wage for them. That's a voluntary commitment and a decision that you make. The difference with government is that you don't make that decision, but you can create a voluntary governance structure where you agree under a private contract rather than a social contract to follow certain laws or rules or whatever. And that's where the difference stands. It's voluntary versus involuntary. So libertarian socialism doesn't even make sense. Libertarian socialism is like saying small government, big government. It doesn't even make sense. And they're both political systems, though there's libertarians that identify as anarchists but call themselves libertarians because anarchist has bad connotations. But wage slavery is not freedom, says Syndicate. It's not slavery if it's voluntary. I mean, if you want to do better in life in a system where you have voluntary interactions of free individuals without a central banking that's extorting the masses while taxation is extorting 50% of the year away from you, and then bringing the price of living up so that you can't afford to put food on the table, when people 60 years ago were able to put 5 times the food on the table with one parent working than they can with 2 parents working 2 jobs now, then yeah, that's not the problem with wages. That's the problem with inflation. It's not wages. If you wish to work for someone else, you can. Not everyone wants to run a business. In fact, most people are followers, not leaders. If you want to be a leader, be a leader. And in a situation where you have the market wide open to you with competition, innovation, people will be living longer. Healthcare would be much cheaper. There'd be competition on the market for healthcare as well to bring the price lower. And there'd be competition with, instead of having copyright or property or a government license over a certain product, medical product, it can be innovated on and grow in size and scope, and the profit will be in doing the right thing and bring people the right medications and the right treatments, and then people will go to you, and then someone else will say, well, I have that same treatment for a better price, and then people will go to them. But if they treat people badly, people will go to the other side. They'll have double the money that they usually have, plus the price of living wouldn't go down. It would actually go up, most likely, just based on competition on the market and decisions between 2 individuals that shake hands. That is prosperity. That would open up the market to not only more wealth, but more individual wealth per the individuals that are participating in that market. And then the charities that you'd have would easily support the people that are disabled and unable to do these kinds of things, so the wealth would be so much bigger or greater, and people would be living such prosperous lives in comparison to what they would be living or are living under this system, with central banking bringing up the price of living dramatically, making it impossible for people to survive and put food on the table. It's not wages that are too low, it's inflation that's too high. It's the price of living is going up. It's the value of your currency going down. That's the issue. It's not the problem of wages. Yeah, people are barely scraping by on their tiny wages. That's not the problem with wages being too low. It's the price of living. You can pull up those wages as many times as you want. It's still, and by law, and it'll kick out more jobs and unemployment will grow. Look at the labor force participation rate. But with that said, even if you were to do that, the price of living would go up in collaboration or correlation, I should say, with the wages going up. So then you end up getting, you earn a bigger number. Instead of making, say, $11 an hour, you'll make $15 an hour, but that 15 will be worth the same as the $11 before. The value of the money will stay the same, or it will change with the prices going up. Syndicat says price of living is going up because society is controlled by renters. No, renters are controlled by government. The landlords are forced to be slumlords because they have regulations, rent control laws, and that actually stops them from creating a greater quality, and people can't afford it, not because they are raising the rents, but because of inflation. You're forgetting the main cause of this, and then people are taxed over 50% to go blow up babies overseas and pay off the interest on the debt. And in Canada, if you actually add up all taxes altogether, it's 65% plus the carbon tax. So that's more than half of the year you're working as a slave for the state. That's more than half the year that you're not actually earning any of the money. You're working your butt off for criminals to go blow up babies and then pay off the interest on the debt, which is causing the inflation in the first place, which is causing you to not be able to afford food, which is causing you to be more unhealthy, which is causing you to need more medications, which is causing you to be more depressed, which is causing you to have less hope, which is causing you to be poor and impoverished, and what's causing the homelessness and causing the rents to be too high. That is how this happens. It doesn't have anything to do with landlords raising or not raising rent. They're restricted by the government. That's a problem. And now, let's see. We got more comments coming in. There's a lot of comments coming in. I'm trying to keep up here. Taxation is slavery, says Alukia. Yeah, absolutely. And Tim O'Neill says, that's why I don't self-enterprise. Fred Fury says, cannabis is my go-to currency as a grower for the free market and medical people. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. In a free market competing currency system, you will be able to actually, decide what you want to spend, what is money. Money is subjective down to the individuals that decide on things peer-to-peer. And what's interesting about that is that you can accept Bitcoin, gold, goats, whatever it might be. Most stores won't accept goats. most will accept, cryptocurrencies and gold, and depending on the cryptocurrency, which means that there will be the market deciding on what is most utilized, which will give incentive for businesses to utilize those currencies the most. And if they don't accept it, it's like not accepting Visa or MasterCard or something in today's world. They will lose business for it, and they'll lose money for it. So I think that's important. And, I still see some businesses that only take cash, but I'm pretty sure they're just evading taxes. So anyway, evading theft, sorry. But anyway, Gilbert Ante says exactly. Hi from Quebec. Good to see you. I want to ask you, Gilbert, do you believe that Quebec should separate from Canada? I'm of the belief that everyone should always separate from every country. Texas, California, New York, New Jersey. There's the Wexus or whatever you call it in Canada, where it's Western provinces. Quebec has been fighting for independence for a long time. The Bloc Québécois won huge votes in the past election in Canada. That shocked a lot of people, actually. And there's a starvation or a hunger to separate. And I think that's really starting to become a major issue in Canada more now than ever. Anyway, and we're seeing that in, like I said, we saw that in Britain too, in Greater Britain and the United Kingdom back in the 1960s and 70s with Irish nationalism, Welsh nationalism, etc. The more countries, the better. The smaller the countries are, the better. Cut them up into a bunch of different pieces. Deborah Diddock says, just finished watching Century of Enslavement by James Corbett and just got onto your work. Thank you for speaking out about the renters' comments. Absolutely. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And James Corbett is awesome. Still haven't interviewed him yet. He knows who we are. He's watched WAM videos before, but I've never interviewed him. He's one of the only people in the community that I haven't. It's strange. Randy Gottschalk says, don't California, my Arizona. Well, yeah, we did just do a video called Mass Exodus as Californians Move to Nevada, I think it was called, on our channel, which actually got quite a few views. Surprisingly got around the algorithm, which doesn't happen too much anymore. So that was interesting. Anyway, well, again, for all of those, Dottie says Northern Ireland. Yeah. But, I mean, wasn't all of Ireland, wasn't there a fight? I mean, so the Irish were enslaved, and a lot of them were brought to the Americas. The history of Ireland is that of apartheid, of genocide, of a government controlling a populace that has almost mythical roots. It's hard to actually tell where the myth and the history begins and ends in Ireland. It's an amazing place. But yeah, I mean, for example, well, Lord Mountbatten was assassinated by the IRA. And then there was the Welsh nationalism that almost got Prince Charles killed. Honestly, I'm not here to shed a tear for the royal pedophile family, but I mean, just interesting to note the history. But yeah, Gilbert Ante says patriotic is the best for money. I just think that the more countries, the better. I think Tim Moen said it best, the leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada. He said, I want to see a world where we have 7 billion countries, and I'm all for that. Voluntary associations and private contracts. The social contract is a problem. The social contract is a force, but it's more fear than force, really, and it's people that, under the guise of fear, submit. But under the private contract, you can become an employee of a business. Under the private contract, you can become I wouldn't say a subject, but a citizen of a voluntary society. There's nothing wrong. Anarchism isn't about no government. It's about no enforced government, no enforced collectivism. Free individuals should be able to do whatever they want, and the most bountiful, successful, innovative, and healthy and prosperous world is one where there's competition and there's capitalism and there's free market competition, not corporate fascism as we see today, which is just propped up. It's like regulations to regulate corporations out of existence, under the guise of stopping big monopolies. But what it actually does is it props up big corporations because they can deal with the regulations, they can deal with the taxes, but small businesses get destroyed. Gilbert Ante says new constitution for Quebec. Yeah, I mean, anyway, there's so much to go into. I got exhausted there. I'm writing a book. I'm over 1,000 pages in, but I don't know how to cut it down and break it into segments properly regarding this issue and voluntarism in general. But people can be socialists in a voluntary society. They just can't force me to join their terrible commune or whatever it is. But if they want to do that, they have every right to. I'm not going to stop them. Anarchism is just as inviting to everyone else as anything. I mean, you can do what you want in your life. It's not my business what you do, and I don't have a right to extort my neighbor, and I don't have a right to say I want my roads a certain way, so I'm going to point a gun at my neighbor's head at threat of being kidnapped and thrown in a cage, and if you resist, being murdered because I want a nicer road. That's wrong. It's morally wrong, and it's logically wrong as well, because municipal budgets account for maybe only about 0.5% of a municipal budget goes towards the roads on average. And I know because my dad used to be in charge of the roads for a great part of a city in Canada. And you look at the budget, which is available online. Whenever they say, what about the roads? It's like, well, build your own. Governments look at the Adopt a Highway programs. Even with the extortion, they're not building the roads properly, and they purposely get contractors, mess up the roads, cause them to collapse and crumble and break apart so that they can bring in a new, the same contractors again, on contract again and again. They make a bunch of money off of the taxpayer to do a job that you should only have to do once every 10 years, not once every 2 years. Where people are almost dying and destroying their vehicles, driving over potholes, like in Winnipeg, Canada. It's absolutely absurd. And I witnessed construction foremen demanding that I don't put rebar in parts of the road so that it would crumble, so they would be able to fix a road again in a couple of years because they're on contract. It's wrong. And anyway, 0.5% of the municipal budget. Meanwhile, like more than 50% of your taxes go to paying off the interest on the debt and murdering babies, and then bureaucracy and a bunch of school marms in their little horn-rimmed glasses and wool sweaters. And I'm looking at stereotypes here, but little scarves and stuff, sitting at some government desk, eating Tostitos all day and thinking like they're a big deal because they work on welfare at the taxpayer's expense after extorting them to do their pointless job that actually makes things worse. Anyway, as Alukia says, we could have spaceships by now, and this is absolutely true. Anyway, I'm going to make this one last point. Anarchy isn't about no rules, it's about no rulers. You just can't enforce those rules. But also it's up to you as a free individual, as a responsible person, because responsibility and freedom are play hand in hand. They're synonymous. You have to responsibly defend rights, because rights don't exist until you defend them. They only exist so long as you insist they exist and don't let someone take them away. Nonetheless, I don't think the complaining is as important as living free and living by example. But government is organized crime. Taxation is step, but what are you doing about it? Are you living free, or are you submitting under the guise of the possible fear of something happening to you? And that's something that you should all ask yourselves. Anyway, as we close off this YouTube is over party, which is trending, as I said, on Twitter. For those that haven't already, make sure to press like, and also check out our Teespring store, which is all linked below, and make sure to pledge if you can. We got lots of products on our Teespring store, so make sure to check them out. We got the revolution will not be YouTubed. We got all sorts of stuff, sweaters, everything. We got premium shirts. We got phone cases, mugs, socks, you name it. So we even have onesies for babies that say "End the Fed." You know you want that for your kid. Come on. You need to have a baby that says "End the Fed" on their onesie. I'm just saying, it comes in multiple colors, I think. I'm pretty sure I set up multiple colors for this. Let me see what we got here. This particular one's just in black, but we got other ones here. I think because of the lettering, it would have been weird if it wasn't black. But we got other ones down here. Like, I think a few of these are kids' shirts as well. Anyway, we got all the options on the screen, so make sure to check that stuff out. We got multiple colors for multiple shirts. We got Trudeau for prison. The revolution will not be YouTube. Go back Letepe. Creepy old guy 2020. Statism is cancer. And the Fed. F the Fed. Nobody for president 2020, etc. And we got Patreon. We got Subscribestar. We need to raise another $1,210 by January 1st in order to stay alive as a media. $1 or more a month makes a huge difference and allows us to get around the censorship. Of course, we have GoFundMe, and we also have Float.app. So everyone should go and join Float.app, FLOTE.app. It's a little glitchy right now because they're unrolling an update, and that update will allow... I can't wait to show people what this really means because, yeah, it's slow right now, but it's all for a good reason, and I'm really hoping everyone checks in anyway. Follows Brian Forrester on there, BRIEN, at Brian, as it is. But it goes on Float, joins, finds us in our live streams like here. Oh, that's a nice picture of me. Wow, that's great. Let's refresh that screen here and see what's new here. But stream unavailable. So there's an issue with that. See, again, there's problems right now on Float because they are unrolling the new updates. So it's bad timing, obviously, because we're doing this live stream for YouTube is over. But honestly, I do believe, and I'll put my whole career behind it, that Float is the future of social medias online. Great alternative to replace YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, Patreon, and obviously encrypted messaging, super chats, monetization, all in one. And it's just an amazing platform. But obviously that takes a lot of work, and they are currently rolling out a lot of updates. So be patient, my friends. Anyway, there's lots of options there. Let's get back to a situation where we can talk about what we want to talk about online without having to worry about censorship. We have BitChute as well, but it's also very glitchy lately, but it has been glitchy for years. So hopefully they fix those issues. Anyway, so yeah, join that. Go to our Teespring store. I'm getting wiped out. I've been reporting all freaking day, so it's time to take a break. M. Henrik says, I agree. Freedom is gold and silver. Freedom is, whatever you need to do to protect yourself and be independent, free, responsible human being. Freddie Fury says, Trudeau, I'm interested in. Yeah, get your Trudeau for prison shirt. It comes in multiple colors, multiple sizes. Sweaters, hoodies, long sleeves, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. Women's versions, tank tops, etc. So make sure to get your stuff. It's all linked below the video, so make sure to check the description. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in, and I'm going to get going. Make sure to press a like if you haven't already, because it helps get into the algorithm once this video is posted, because we rarely get any videos once a live stream's finished, or any views. Sorry, I'm like getting mentally challenged here. Moss Faith 3 says, just got here. Sorry to hear it's 2 hours in. I'm really tired. But yeah, we got a Teespring store. We got a Patreon Subscribestar, Float.app, BitChute, all those. GoFundMe. We have a Bitcoin address that people can tip if they wish. All very helpful. So we really appreciate anything you can do to help us. So yeah, grab your t-shirts, grab your merch, grab your stuff from our Teespring store. I'm really excited to have that off the ground now. We got a lot of stuff on there, and YouTube is starting to unroll some of it, but we're going to be off YouTube at any moment. We're on borrowed time right now, guys. So anyway, until next time, I appreciate everyone tuning in. And Dog Backwards says, and thanks for going to Atlantis. My pleasure. I'm going back there, and lots of videos coming up on that too. So stay tuned, bookmark, and find us on Float.app if you don't find us here, because we might be deleted next time you check. Anyway, till next time, this is Josh Searton signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.